things just got truly real. Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, Chapter 205, dog. Now, first and foremost, I'd like to apologize for this quite late review. The thing is, there's 3 reasons why it's so doggone late. Okay? Number 1, the site that I usually read Magi at, up until this point, yeah, well, they didn't come out with the chapter for some reason this past week. I don't know. So, doggone, I had to read it at a different site. Okay? The site I usually read my Toriko chapters at. Now, big shout out to King of Lightning for letting me know the chapter actually did come out, because sometimes I know we have weeks off for the chapter, but I was surprised that it didn't come out. Number 2, the chapter came out late. That's just the state of affairs. I was looking for it Sunday and whatever. It didn't come out till like Monday or Tuesday, whatever. And number 3, it was Thanksgiving. So all my videos are just backed up right now. I'm all, Thanksgiving, and I got so many videos to do, but that's neither here nor there. We here for Magi, all right? Yeah. So pretty much this chapter kind of starts off as a continuation of last week. Don't know, but there was some good little like funny, you could kind of say some kind of comedic relief conversation between Yunan and Sinbad at the beginning, and it really this was just building up to the seriousness. So Otaka, once again, gotta applaud you for the way you construct this chapter, because the way it started off, I was like, kind of, where is this going? Because apparently, Sinbad comes storming in there and was like, yo, I'm listening to your conversation. Forget about privacy. There is no privacy when it comes to Sinbad, I guess not. At least not among 2 Magi. And Yunan is acting all kind of boyish, childish, like, no, I can't let you do it. And he's just messing with him. And he's like, yeah, you know what? No. This is what we're going to do. We're going to fly away, and I'm going to create a room for Aladdin and I to talk in. So freaking from here on out, I'm probably just gonna call him Yunan the Alchemist, because that's what he did. He even described his move as alchemy. He pulled off some magic on the next level kind of stuff. Like, seriously, this dude, he literally out of magic produces logs. Then those logs, he had them actually sawed, and then he freaking produced a house within seconds. Like, who does that? Like, for real. Okay, this is why you are my favorite character. Even though some of his actions were looking a little kiddish, but it is what it is, This is manga, what can I say? Yunan, still badass. So, Yunan creates a house, and they go in, and Yamarai is freaking fangirling over here. Did y'all see that? Yamarai, like, I can't believe it. This is magic. Because, Aladdin, Sinbad's sword general dude, Alibaba's mentor, is like, yo, what's going on? Is this magic or something? Well, another dude says, is this magic? What's like, the people in Sindria were like what, this was shocking to them, and a freaking house just appears out of nowhere. I'd be kind of surprised too, no lie. So Yunan takes Aladdin in there, and Sinbad goes freaking gin equip, and I'm thinking this is lightning. If I remember correctly, that's his lightning, the one that King of Lightning loves. And so, doggone, he tries to attack it, but it's like this impenetrable barrier. And then so they're inside, Yunan begins to talk with Aladdin. Aladdin tries to poke the walls, and the walls aren't exactly solid. And Yunan's like, well, this isn't exactly real materials. I just pretty much kind of did some transmutation. That's why I say alchemy. He kind of did some transmutation and used like these little, what he described, like, this is where it kind of gets, Magi's starting to get a bit scientific, which I like. I always like when they start getting a little scientific. So it's kind of like atoms holding hands. So it's like atoms slash rope. His explanation was too simplistic, so I'm pretty sure there's much more to it than that. Or, we find out later down the road. But I like the avenue Otaka went in that regards. And he's saying he used those to, do things. And he even said, he even made bread and different foods, and Aladdin tasted like, it was a funny scene, because Aladdin tasted like, oh, this tastes like clouds, and he was like, you've eaten clouds? So that was kind of funny. But in the funny scene when Aladdin the big old stomach, that was good stuff, But then you know, Yunan's starting to talk to Aladdin about some real talk stuff, because Aladdin, you know, he asked him about, yeah, you mentioned about Ugo, and Yunan's breaking down some stuff we already know. Then he mentions he's freaking been reincarnated 9 times, because he, you know, Aladdin figures out, okay, the whole why did Titus get resurrected? Okay, we get it. But 9 times though. What, we on some cat? Nah, for real. He's been resurrected in his own body 9 times. Now, you know, he mentioned about, you know, the whole Scheherazade Titus, but 9 times. He doesn't know why. He's actually not been able, because in his rogue state, he can't talk. So he doesn't know why Ugo, you know, keeps resurrecting him. He doesn't know. But then, you know, he starts, and here's where it starts getting serious. He starts breaking things down to Aladdin, and he asks Aladdin, what do you know, what is a king vessel? What do you know? And Aladdin's like, what do you mean? And then he starts going through it, and he's talking about, well, he asked Aladdin, why is he, you know, what are his thoughts about Sinbad? And Aladdin's like, I generally like him, he's a really good guy and everything, but there's just, you know, I don't want to get caught up with Sinbad, you know, he's good and everything, but there's, you know, there's just a feeling I get. I just don't, something, he can't trust him. And Yunan goes, well, here's the thing, I can't stand it. You know, I can't stand this whole thing. These king vessels, I can't stand this whole thing. You know, we as Magi, even though he, you know, apparently, at least we saw at the beginning, some beef between Sinbad and Yunan. Now, these both dudes being a bit hypocritical, because Yunan was the dungeon raiser. Even though he does say in his defense he's shut down a lot of dungeons, or tried to, that Judar has raised. Okay, and so has Scheherazade raised dungeons? Don't know. But anyways, we know Aladdin has not at this point. Sinbad talk about, well, you brought all chaos in this world by the dungeons you raised, even though he has 7 jinn himself. Just saying. But anyway, back to the point in the story. Doggone, Yunan's like, you know, the power that's been given because of the, you know, the metal vessels and all that. We as Magi throughout history, and you've done it again with Alibaba. Magi throughout history have been able to utilize this power and have conquered in many wars and death and destruction. Okay, and he's like, it's about time all that stops. And he kind of instinctively, I don't know, he raised up a bunch of dungeons. So now, and he says there's only 1 or 2 usual metal vessel used. Now there's a boatload of them. He's responsible for a lot of them. And he's like, pretty much a survival of the fittest situation, which I love. That's what I'm talking about. And he's like, whoever comes out on top of this, you know, let Destiny decide where, you know, let them decide where Destiny takes it. And what Otaka's hinting at is something, and you'll see the link in the description to the video that I did about the 4 Kings arc. I had kind of done a discussion video predicting that. It had dealt actually with Alibaba, Ren Hakuryu, Sinbad, and Ren Cohen. Yeah, Cohen. Anyways, those 4 guys in specific, and I was talking about because of ideological issues and other issues in the video that I talk about why there will be a 4 Kings arc, and it kind of was gave me the idea because of kind of Yu Yu Hakusho, because they apparently had 3 Kings arc and other things I talked about in that video. So go check that out. Once again, it'll be linked in the description. But anyways, so Otaka kind of is going, because the reason I kind of went there because of this whole summit thing. Like, even before, actually, even I think I did that maybe before the summit. I can't remember. But anyways, it just seemed like be going that way. And this is just an excellent avenue. This is great foreshadowing. I can't wait for it. And it showed pretty much everybody, you know, many of the Co-Empire, you know, Cohen, freaking, I don't think I saw Hakuryu. I'm not sure if I saw Alibaba in the picture, but I know I saw Sinbad. I know I saw Koha. I know I saw Koha's older brother. You know, I saw a bunch of folk, okay? So pretty much, they seem like they're going to be going at it, one form or another. So that was excellent. No, and did y'all see his face? Y'all see the face of my thumbnail? Yeah, Yunan. And I liked another, what Aladdin said beforehand, and he was talking about how Yunan knows so much about magic and stuff. He's probably the greatest magician alive. Well, centuries of living, being resurrected, they'll do that to you. They'll do that to you. So yeah, man. So we got some great stuff here, and then freaking, pretty much that's the meat of everything that's going on with Aladdin and Yunan with their discussion. They had some other stuff, but that's the gist of it. So just a bunch of foreshadowing, and then one last point I have to mention. And Yunan, obviously we see what Yunan is about. What Titus will do is going to be interesting, because Aladdin, he's trying, and Aladdin wants to know more from Yunan, because Yunan obviously he knows stuff and he's special with the magic, so he wants to glean more from him. But Aladdin's focus seems to be at this point making up for stuff and promoting Alibaba as king. But at this point, it's going to be questionable to see where he goes, what Aladdin's decision making will be. Okay, it's not a certain thing at this point, because Yunan's making him think. He's making them question the established order, what path they've been already taking. And we see Judar, we don't know directly. We know he's with the Black Rogue against fate and stuff, but he's also, he's changed, he's deviated. They're all against Al Tharman at this point. Titus, we have no idea what he's going to do. And Yunan, he's trying to kind of showing his cards. So in all honesty, it looks like pretty much every Magi at this point, in this generation of Magi, the Aladdin, Yunan, Judar, and Titus are all kind of semi-deviating from fate. So what will happen, we shall see. That's yet to be determined. But at the end of the chapter, they arrive at Baba. So we did get some plot progression. I was wondering if we weren't going to see Alibaba, Morgiana, and the rest arrive at Baba. No, well, we saw that. And Morgiana was shocked, literally shocked. You saw Alibaba's face though. Freaking focus his head. He's like, Baba, my hometown, And then we kind of see it in Black when he arrives. So, and he had a flashback to Cohen and him and Morgiana. I don't think they met Cohen as far as I remember. But, yo, that was an epic. That ending was epic. Just badass. No lie, just badass. So overall, this chapter. Now, originally throughout most of the chapter, I was going to give it a 6.5 good rating. But from the point where Yunan started talking about, the survival of the fittest kind of thing, and to the end, especially because of the end, I'm bumping it up to a 7 out of 10. A freaking solid chapter of Magi. Unexpected one to like, comment, tell me your thoughts, subscribe, all that kind of jazz, because this chapter was surprisingly pivotal. Like, I'm not sure where things are going, and Alibaba, like, what his decision making will do at this point will be key. So I think Alibaba, this arc's gonna start the beginning of shaking things up, and then when they get to that summit, the whole game's gonna change. Like, I don't know how, but I know where Otaka takes is gonna be excellent. The whole game's about to change. The whole story of Magi, it's been building up since the Mangno Stop War arc ended. Okay, now some big plays are about to happen. So where will the story lead? And this is why I said this story can go some freaking One Piece level. Like, it'll definitely be 1,000 chapters. I really predict that Magi will be 1,000 chapters for a couple reasons. Number one, because of the 1,001 Nights. Obviously, it's inspired by that. And number two, this storyline, the world's relatively wide. At this point, it's become even more wide open. So where it will lead at the end of the day, I'm not sure. Alright, y'all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night, all that rest of that jazz. Sorry it was late. Once again, this was a solid chapter, 7 out of 10. Alright, y'all, till next time, peace.